GTVRadio, DJ Prenup here, bringing you the Indie Artist Music Showcase, where we showcase the hottest upcoming artists in the game, and we have another treat for y'all today. We doing it different today. We had a back-to-back, which is a weird how the world came full circle on this one, but I want to give a special welcome to singer, songwriter, rapper. I'm gonna go ahead and give you that too. Y'all make some love for Tanna Marie. Say what's up to him, girl.
Hey, do my own. Hello.
We appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much for making the journey towards us.
Thank you for having
me. We definitely wanted to show some more attention to the local music scene out here. We've had artists from everywhere else, and I realized I wasn't really showcasing a lot of Vegas talent. That's what I need to do out here. I'm a radio station in Vegas. Why not have Vegas artists out here, especially female artists, and especially dope-ass female artists.
Who just happen to be in Las Vegas weekly. I'm just going to throw that out there because I'm so fucking proud of that. So.
Which is a huge, huge commendation to you and your artistry, especially someone who's been at it for not so little in time, but still someone who's
fresh.
You're fresh in the game right now. Before we kind of get into it, tell people more about you and what it is exactly that you do as an artist.
I create a vibe.
Okay.
And then I give that vibe to others. That's exactly. I don't really know how to explain it because I don't feel like I fit into any really categories. I say R&B because it's easier to just say that. Yeah. But I do hip hop, I do R&B, I do more house. I mean, I do a little everything. I'm a storyteller, and I think that's what the best thing is I'm a writer and a storyteller. Okay. Because I'm a published poet. Yeah.
Watch out, Lewis Carroll. She's coming for you now. I'm playing with you. And of course, the music that I've heard from you recently, the ones that you submitted in, and even the ones you haven't submitted in, which I'm a little upset because they're amazing. Your voice is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Especially someone who's been known for 3 years. I'm not even sure if you have any vocal training or anything, but you're this is all natural shit.
I've had one vocal lesson two now. And it was when I was in Virginia when I won Fredericksburg Idol. When we were doing that, they brought us to the radio station with one of their vocal coaches, and we had a 30-minute session. And then Noise, his mother's in the music industry, and she did once. So that's all I've had. I need vocal lessons because I'd really love to hone in on my voice and see what else it could do. If this is me without vocal lessons, I'd love to know what I could do with vocal lessons.
Watch out, Beyonce. Now you mentioned that you create a vibe, and I really want to ask who is this vibe created for as far as your audience?
I think it's just for I think where my gift lies is being very open with my stories of what I've been through, and I share that, and I know somebody's gonna be able to feel that, and whoever, I just always put it before my shows, whoever needs to hear this message, it's for them. And I will tell you, every single show, at least one person comes up to me and says, yo, that was for me. I felt that. I needed that. And that's what I do it for. The last show I did at the Jam, a guy came up to me and cried and was because I did a song about domestic violence because, I just went through a bunch of stuff. And he's my mom died from domestic violence. And she sang and you reminded me of her. And it just those moments, that's what I do it for. Okay. I don't really give a shit about fame or the clout. I do it for people who are yo, that story, I feel that. Yeah.
When was the last show that you had?
The Jam.
Okay.
I headlined that one. That was on the 18th. It was the week before my birthday, and it was my birthday show. We celebrated.
Happy belated birthday, by the way. She's a Scorpio for y'all out there listening.
Yeah. Don't say nothing about us either. I always talking shit about Scorpios.
Now, what got you into making music, especially doing it 3 years? So everything is recent.
Yeah. So I've always sang. My mom was a singer.
Okay.
But I never did it really, never pursued it. I think I was always afraid to pursue it. My family was very much go to school and do this and you know, and I think it's just
very traditional.
A lot of families are like that, you know, and I tried it and just nothing felt right. And when I was in Virginia, I did that music contest. I actually did it after I started working with my homie Kane. Okay. Kane is the name. He was doing rock. He won the Rock the Bells contest out there. He's been on Sway in the Morning. Shout out Kane because he let me do a song with him and I did horrible live. It was the first performance and oh my God, I wanted to cry afterwards. It was so bad. And I was I'm never doing this. I wasn't meant for it. And he's it's your first one. Yeah. You've never done anything with a live band. You don't trip. You should do this. And so I was you know what? I'm going to try. And then when the Idol thing came out, I was sick, really sick. And I was I can't, my voice is barely there. And I sang an Adele song and killed
Ooh.
it. And like I was like with fucking like I'm pretty sure I had like laryngitis or some shit. And I was like, and I killed it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. And then I won that. And then I did beer festivals and wine festivals out in Virginia. And I was just like, I'm gonna try doing my own music now.
Now, how long ago was Virginia?
2012 till 2015.
Okay.
Came back, and then things didn't work out with the husband thing, and that's when I finally started writing my own music.
Okay.
I wrote a song in the middle of the night, drunk as shit. I was like blackout drunk, crying, and
we've all been there.
Performed it.
Well, not the right song, at least. We've all been blackout drunk a few times.
And I've still never recorded that song. Nobody knows that song really, unless they heard me live when I first started doing music. I went to the Boulevard Mall. Smoky Tone was put on like a talent showcase thing.
Okay.
And it was my first time ever performing my own music, and I was so nervous, and people loved it.
Good.
And then that started it. I went to Rebar next because my homie was doing a set.
Who's your homie?
Cable. He wears the tape around his face.
I wanna say I know Cable.
Yeah, he's mad dope.
But by passing by a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then he put me on with a bunch of people, and then from there they're like, you should go to the Jam. And I was like, what is the Jam? And it was at Ninja Karaoke, and I did one show, and Jam, who runs the Jam, was like, can you feature next week on First Friday? And I was like, sure. And then it was just like bam, bam, bam,
First
bam, bam.
Friday,
everything.
yo,
Yes.
okay.
And then Classic Jewel, and then Cork and Thorn. It was just like, it was just like, boom,
love
boom,
Classic
boom.
Jewel.
And then pandemic hit. So it was really weird for me because I went from like everything to nothing.
Especially in the first year.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then I decided to finally record because people were like, can you record some of your music? Because I want to hear your I hear your shit get stuck in my head. Can you just record it? So that's when I started working with Joel on the track for the producer stuff.
Okay.
And then, Sad Art came, and then Sad Art went, and, life.
Now, I could kind of want to touch on this article that Las Vegas Weekly put out. But before that, I was doing I was scouring your YouTube channel. And I did see that you have a lot of covers on there as well. I know that you were doing a lot of the covers as far as with a band out there in Virginia.
Yeah.
But what would have been your more favorite?
Anytime I sing Amy Winehouse, just because a lot of people, she had a lot of soul and a lot of pain in her lyrics and in her music. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the great.
But I think that's one thing I took from her growing up and I loved about her is that she was very raw.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of like want to be in my music. Her, Alicia Keys, Lauryn Hill, these are people that like I want to aspire
Alicia
to
Keys
be
is
like.
low-key my hall pass. I've always had a crush on her.
Yeah. Who doesn't have a crush on Alicia Keys? If you don't, you're lying. You're lying. Look, Alicia, if you're out there.
Right, yeah, if you listening, girl, just so you know, your boy got a thing for you.
I was like, hold up.
So the Las Vegas Weekly article, how did that come about?
Okay, so I got asked by DTLV to do Field Trip.
Okay.
And then they did an article on Field Trip. So I was mentioned in that. And I was speaking to Amber. Shout out to Amber because she was like, yo, we just had a great conversation. And she's like, I want to know more about you. Can I do like a full write-up on you? And I was like, sure. And so she's like, cool, I have a few more questions. And that was it. I didn't even know it was going to be like a full... I opened the fucking magazine and my page, like my whole face is right there. I was like, like my... Sorry.
Look, hold on, look. If you're watching this on YouTube later on...
Yo, and look, Connomatic shot those shoots. Like, that was my first photo shoot ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My first and only. I've never really... No, I've done one other photo shoot with her again. But like, she was the first person I ever did a photo shoot with, and still those pictures are what people love. Like, it's just... Now, and my hair was short as hell there. Like, it was like shaved and shit.
Now, in the article, it did mention some of your musical influences going from Wu-Tang to ACD. Yeah. ACDC. Let me get that right. ACDC.
At least you didn't say ABCs, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I love the ABC. Shit.
Why those influences? Because those to me are so cross genre when it comes to term
listen to if you went through my playlist right now, it's Korn and like
I love corn, and not the vegetable.
Yeah. Like I love a lot of hardcore music. I love a little bit of everything. My dad and my uncle are very like rock based, but my dad grew up also in California, and so like hip hop was like, I mean, was the shit back then. You know, that's what he would hoop to and everything. So like. That's what my dad would listen to either rock or hip hop, and my mom listened to nothing but oldies. So like, I kind of got a little bit of everything.
That's good.
Like, I love Ray Parker Jr. If y'all don't know who Ray Parker Jr. is, he sings the Ghostbusters songs, but he also sings other songs that are amazing. He has one of my favorite songs, A Woman Needs Love, and it's basically saying like, yo, she can cheat just like you can cheat. Like, you better get your shit together.
That motherfucker down.
And I was like, yup. I was 12, like, yes, preach.
Now, much like your music in person, you are a very vibrant individual. Kudos to that. A lot of people in the industry, although they may seem very friendly,
I'm just too cool to talk.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm just too. That's a good thing about. I will say this because I do say I'm a rapper too. I want to do more rapping on a lot of stuff.
I feel like a lot of R&B artists and singers can rap better than a lot of the rappers out now.
I wasn't gonna say, but you said it. No,
it's okay.
No, but like the good thing about being a female rapper, a lot of times you don't have to act hard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to put on this front of like, I've been to jail.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So like, if we want to talk like, I got street cred. No, but like, but I don't have to. So I think that's the thing is I think that women get more of a pass to be themselves in the industry, where men have to put on more of like I'm too cool. Shit. I love people who are just, that's why I love Post Malone. He's so fucking goofy, and I love somebody who's just themselves. Like, that shit is sexy to me. Like, Post Malone is not cute, but he's sexy as shit to me because he's just like a rugrat. Yes, a drawn-on rugrat. Yeah, like, you know how like the Disney princesses, they put like tattoos on him, and like he looks like that. But like, I love him because of his personality.
Now, I want to say thank you to that because I actually had a conversation with an artist that you also know, Dougie the Don.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that as far as the stigma of being a man. One in the industry, but the general concepts in general. And I don't want to steal the shine away from you because it was weird how all that came full circle of how you knew him and then I knew him through my cousin. It was weird, but not weird, but wild. But I want to say thank you because I know a lot of your music is centered around whether it's body positivity or whether it's just feeling good about yourself in general.
Yeah.
Regardless of your sexual orientation, regardless of your gender role or your orientation in general. So I want to say thank you for that also. And of course, being an open book is important.
Yeah.
Because that's what you have to want to relate to your fans.
If I'm an open book, but I'm Braille. So like, I'm open, but you can't always understand. You know what I mean? Like it takes a certain type of person to get me. Like I feel like I always felt like I never fit in. It was this weird thing of like, and I still feel this weird, not in a bad way. Like, I don't feel like out of place, but like there's something different. And I'm like, I used to hate it, and now I'm okay with it. Like, I have my tattoo, "We are the weirdos, mister."
Show it to the camera real fast. Hold on, show the camera. There it is. "We are the weirdos, mister." Where's that from?
It's from The Craft, the movie.
And it came in like they're getting the 90s, right?
The 90s. They're getting off the witches. They're getting off the bus, and the guy's like, "Watch out for those weirdos." And she's like, "We are the weirdos, mister."
Wasn't the actor? Wasn't she in the Waterboy too?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I had a mad crush on her too.
Yo, all of them are fine. I was just like, I had boy crushes and girl crushes. I've been bi my whole life. I just didn't recognize it until I got older. I was like, damn. But no, like that. I always like. I felt the weird characters. Like, I felt closer to them. Like, the Mean Girl stuff, I never understood it because I'm like, I never felt like the pop, which is weird because if you talk to any of my friends from high school, they'd say I was popular, but I didn't feel popular. I was very like a theater kid who also did sports, so it was weird.
Shout outs to the theater kids. I was a theater kid also. I went to competitions and shit, got medals.
I was
Shout
a
out to the theater kid. Oh, you was a techie? Oh, yeah, I was the one.
I should have known I was gay then.
Breaking on your shit.
I was like, I should have known I was bi then, building shit like Bob the Builder. The fuck? You know, Bob, keep a tool with him. That's my shit.
Sheesh. We're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with this exclusive interview with Tanna Marie, GTVRadio, DJ Prenup, the Indie Artist Music Showcase. We have a special record coming up for you right now. Right back after this quick commercial break. And I just want to say thank you once again to Miss Tanna Marie coming through, speaking her truth about her music, her upbringing, her influences in the game. And before we kind of get into some of the music, I do want to touch on a couple things also. What is the stigma like of a female in this industry, and two in Vegas?
You want the truth? No.
I want your truth.
I have had a lot of issues with like disrespect from other men, even that aren't artists. Like, they're there to see their homie, and like come to the studio, don't say nothing to me, don't make eye contact, walk past me, and then until they realize you sang, oh yeah, you're hella cool. Yeah, now I'm not invisible because I was Casper for a hot minute. And it's like, a lot of times it was my session. I'm like, and then other artists are like, yo, like he's in the booth, da-da-da. I'm in there and they're just like talking and fucking saying shit. I'm like, yo, can I get the same respect everybody else gets? Because like, I'm a dope ass artist, and if I say, and then with producers, if I say something like, I don't like this that way, or I want something like this is what and then it's like, I'm a bitch and I'm picky and I'm this, and it's like, other dudes like, oh man, he's passionate, he knows what he wants, and I'm like, yo, like I'm just also very passionate, and I want things a certain way.
Exactly, and I feel like you have every entitlement for that, because you need to be in your zone when you're making your art. And that's what's important. Yeah. When it comes to some of the artists out here, who have you worked with in Vegas?
I've worked with so many artists. Boom Biggie. I love Boom Biggie. Okay. I've worked with everybody on Sad Art for the most part. I don't know, like if you know that Marco 4D, like Franklin,
I know a couple of them.
A few people.
Not by like in person, but like either social media or like again like through passing.
Vic Smith, which a lot of people know Vic. Yep. So me and Vic have worked together. Me and Noise, who's a producer out here as well. So many. Dougie the Don, like me and him have a song when I was Chakra Khan back in the.
We'll get into that too. It's a hell of a fucking name.
Oh my god. But JD Anthony is on one of my tracks that's going to be coming out, so watch out for that. But like a lot of Vegas art. Theo, I've worked with Theo. Okay. I've worked with. Honestly, I forget because there's so many people. I keep forgetting. Like, I've worked with a lot of artists out here.
But it's safe to say that you've worked with a lot of prominent artists out here as well. Whether they're not as mainstream as, some people might believe, but they're like those names carry weight in the industry. Exactly. And we were talking about what the stigma is as far as being a Vegas artist, but not Vegas either repping you or you're not repping Vegas hard enough until after you've made it.
Yeah. I think it's like Neo doesn't really rep Vegas, and I think it's like he was a little jaded because like Vegas didn't really put him on as much or like claim like when he was starting to do stuff.
That motherfucker was so sick.
So ridiculous. And he went to LVA with my friend. My friend went to LVA. So like it was just wild, like, and he also went to Rancho. And I went to Valley. Shout out to my Valley people. Vikings. Just kidding. I really care. But no, like I feel like Dizzy does a great job trying to, like, he has a clothing store here. He helps with a lot of shops. He has his own little area. I was supposed to do, during the pandemic, performance for Dizzy and his people, like at one of the shops for today. My friend owns the day after tomorrow. It's like or the day after yesterday, which is a clothing brand.
It's like a
thrift,
thrift / like vintage. I'll say, we were having a conversation about this yesterday. Also, I've never heard of it until last night. So like his girl Leslie is how I know him because I've known her since middle school. Okay. And like so everybody knows everybody in Vegas. It's a small people think it's big. A big ass city. The fucking circles are small. It's so weird how
everybody knows somebody who knows somebody, like. And so I was supposed to perform, and then they got shut down because of the COVID stuff. They were like, oh, you have too many people there during the pandemic. So I didn't get to perform. But like Dizzy puts on, but I feel like people don't put on enough from Vegas for Vegas artists. Like people don't put Dizzy on enough. And I don't know. It's so weird. I'm just like, yo, like every other city, like they go so hard for their artists. If they find a dope artist, they're like, yo, we gonna put them on. Like, like they did Kendrick and Cal. Like, it's just weird that here they don't. It's just, and we have so many dope artists. Of every genre.
And kind of flipping the script on that one, besides Virginia, what other outside ventures have you been on?
As far as music-wise,
yeah.
California, I went and wrote. There's a Kyla Fajardo. She's a dancer, like a heels dancer. Okay. And she's like,
that shit's tough.
Yeah. And so
not that I tried it, but that shit just looks fucking heels are tough in general. But
she started doing music when we were at Sad Art, and then she continued to do music. She has some tracks out that are doing great, 100,000 plays plus and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I went out there to write for her. That was a bittersweet moment because I came back and immediately went to jail the next day. So it was crazy.
Oh, girl.
Look, you can take the girl out the streets. You can't take the east side out the girl. East side.
All right, so let's get into I'm gonna call it your alter ego for now. It was early you. What is this Chakra Khan?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell the truth about it.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Right? So I just really I love Shaka Khan. I actually won Fredericksburg Idol with a Shaka Khan song.
Okay.
So, you ain't got no kind of feeling inside.
For the other note, she also gave her like a slight performance before we went live, and it was wild.
Yeah, so I fucking love Shaka. She's just that bitch to me. Like, love her. And so I was like, yo, chakras, like, I was really big in, I feel like my energy is always a big thing people compliment me on, is my energy. Even on shows, I feel your energy so much. And so I was like, yo, like, chakra, because I love puns. I'm a lover of puns.
Why
if
not?
you know me, you know that I am the queen of fucking puns, okay? Like, all day long, I annoy the shit out of my friends with puns. But yeah, so I decided to go with that, and then I was doing that for a while until right before I started recording music.
Okay.
Me and my producer had a talk about it, and I was hiding behind it. I think I was afraid to be myself. I didn't think I could be this dope artist as just me. It was a very like finding myself and self-love type moment. Like I was like, you know what? I'm cool just as Tanna Marie, which Tanna Marie is my middle name.
Okay.
And my mom used to, only when she was mad at me would I hear Marie.
Okay.
Tanna Marie, you know what I mean? Like, and so
Parents
I decided,
do that shit,
right?
They didn't call you by your full government ass
I'm
name.
like, damn.
I have 4 names, so when I heard that from mom, I was like, oh shit,
Oh, yeah, 4 names?
shit. Yeah. I'm one of them. I'm in at like 3 different people.
But I decided to, when I started taking the reins on my life a lot, and I decided that part of my healing was something that was negative, I was going to take and make that the most positive thing I could. And now my name is in magazine. Like, that is no longer has a negative connotation to me. You know what I mean? Like, I flipped what that meant. And I feel like it's really powerful to know that anything in life that used to be a negative thing, that you can change the perspective at any fucking moment.
We're going to cut that as a clip. If y'all need that, I'll run it back again as a vocal sample. But no, exactly what your music that you're making now, I feel like, is a direct reflect of your personality, of you as an individual, you as a being. So much light and so much life in you. And I applaud you, because not a lot of people have this outlook on life, and it's tough. It's exhausting, but it's tough.
Look, finding yourself, that journey in itself is one of the I have had the hardest year of my life. Like, it has been one of those years that, like, I have to congratulate myself every day that I'm here. Because, like, so many times I was like, I'm done. I'm ready to be done. And I think, like, anyway, when you get to a point where even you don't even want to stay for your kid, like, it's just, you're like, you know that, like, okay, I'm fucking depressed as shit. And the only thing that kept me going is that I was like, well, I've already gone through the worst. How fucking bad can it get? Like,
only up from here.
You know what I mean? Like, shit, I've already been face down,
but
ass up. No, I have that in one of my new songs. My song literally starts with that. No, but like, I was just like, fuck, there's nowhere else to go. And I did it sober this time. Like, when me and my ex first split, I was blackout drunk anytime I didn't have my son. Okay. My music was from a very dark place then. And now, like, I have done everything sober. No weed, no alcohol, like, just literally dealing with shit. And that, I think that's why I've had the most growth, because I actually, for the first time in my life, felt everything.
Say that one more time. For
the first time in my life, I felt everything. That shit was painful, but it was the most beautiful process, because, like, I'm so proud of myself, and I think that my music is even starting to show that I'm doing more things with my voice and stuff that I wouldn't try. Like, it's really brought me to a place of, like, can't nobody tell me I'm not that shit. Facts. Like, I'm not that bitch. Like, I'm just
Facts. Now, I kind of want to get into this track, this single, because I am from, well, I'm not from, but my family and bloodline is from the South, specifically New Orleans. NOLA. And you have this bounce track.
Everybody there says
it's called, yeah, babe. How you doing, baby? And you have this track called Gumbo, of all fucking names.
Yo, and the cover for that, the cover, that's a pot of gumbo I made. Bro, like, legit.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's so upbeat, it's so catchy, and it's so confident. It's so confident, and it's an amazing record. Explain the process behind Gumbo.
It's they wrote about it in the article, and I didn't know they were gonna put this part in. And it made me laugh, because I'm like, it's so embarrassing. I was taking he was 2 at the time, taking my son to daycare, And he's like, I want snack. And I was like, thinking about how, like, I was like, well, I'm a big girl. I ain't a snack. I was like, I'm a 3-course meal. And I was like, baby. And I was like, oh, shit. I was playing this instrumental. And, like, I've never dropped my son off faster. I was like, kiss, bye. Okay, bye. And, like, got in the car in the daycare parking lot and was just, like, writing to this song. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, it was just a regular, like, hip-hop type beat that was very bouncy. And then my producer, quick note, Joel on the track, when he did the gumbo beat, I fucking hated it.
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck is this? I was pissed. I said, it sounds nothing like what I was doing. And I was crying. I was very emotional. It was we got into a huge argument that night. It was so heated.
No.
Like, it was before, like, my healing journey. I was still very traumatized by a lot of things. And I didn't do well with change.
Okay.
And as an artist, that's a huge thing, is you got to be comfortable with, like, going outside of what you're used to. And it ended up being some of people's favorite track. And to this day, I know he's sitting there like, yeah,
and
bitch,
it's so
and
weird.
I'm like,
the most, not uncomfortable, but the most change in you as a being when it comes to your music be like everybody's favorite track, because your other tracks, not that they're like mellow, but they're very vibey.
Yeah.
Is what it is. This one's more upbeat. It's energetic.
Yeah,
I heard the trumpets.
This shit is in your face.
I'm thinking of motherfuckers marching on the line like, yo, this shit is.
The video concept I have for it just lets you know that's exactly what I'm going for. Like old school band, like from high school band type shit.
Okay.
Like it's gonna be wild. Just bitches throwing ass.
Tell me you're gonna film this in New Orleans. I mean, I know you want to be out in Vegas, but tell me you got.
I would love to. I don't know what we're gonna do for it yet, to be honest. Like, I've reached out to some people and like, look, when you on a budget, shit is like a little hard, you know, like. But we're gonna make it happen. I'm letting it happen organically. I reached out to some people, and we'll see. I've had dancers. One of the homies from LA that I met, he's a dancer, and he just was on like America's Got Talent dancing, and he danced with all types of people. He's like, I want to fucking dance in your music video. He's like, I'll choreograph it for you. Like, I've been lucky to meet some really dope people who just want to fuck with me based off my vibe, and I'm like, that's amazing.
The vibe is immaculate. The vibe is immaculate.
You know what?
Okay?
I could not write a song called "I Got a Lot of Vibes" and not
and
have
not
vibes.
have the fucking
you know what I mean?
vibes to
like,
go with it.
Everything I say in my music, I back it up. Okay, and that goes for everything. We ain't gonna get into it, but.
We're going to take one more music break. We have Vegas' own Tanna Marie. We're going to do a quick social media break, followed by that fire-ass track, Gumbo. We'll be right back. GTV Radio, Any Artist Music Showcase. Stay tuned. I may or may not have forgotten that we were supposed to start back up. The conversation off air was so good. We want to thank one more time Tanna Marie coming through, repping Vegas, repping her entire spirit, her aura. She's been nothing but a delight. Thank you so much for coming through to the studio with us. We appreciate you so much, man.
This has been so cool.
This record, Gumbo, like this shit is it's so bob. I need a radio version of it because I want a clean version because I want to pass out.
I had sent it to DJ Kelly J, so she has a clean version. I'll send you a clean version.
Here we go.
DJ Heartbreaker has a clean version now.
Okay.
Saying.
There we go. Speaking of DJ Heartbreaker, look who's behind you. The timing is immaculate. Again, we want to thank you so much. Before we kind of cut things and get out of here, shout out your social media. Where can people follow you at? Where they can listen to your music, your camp, your people? Shout out everybody.
So it is Tanna Marie Sings on everything. That's TANNA Marie Sings. And on my YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of that. You can email me for tannamariebookings@gmail.com for bookings. Shout out to everybody who's worked with me, like everybody who believed in me, put me on shows. Like, they're the reason I'm here. And shout out to you guys for having me here. I'm super excited.
We appreciate you.
To my Vegas artists, like putting that shit on, it takes a lot of work to be a Vegas artist when people ain't backing you. But like, shout out to all of my Vegas artists.
Real quick, if you can, just to correct me and a mutual friend of ours, can you shout out some of this might be putting you on the spot. Some of your favorite male R&B artists in Vegas right now, or your favorite male R&B artist right now.
Male R&B. So Cam Calloway is from Vegas. He's one of my favorite here.
Okay.
But like, there's so many. There's Mac Ayers. There's Levin Cali, which I love him. There is Daniel Caesar. There is Bruno Major, Pink Sweats.
Okay.
So many. Like, I could keep going. But
She
like,
was so upset at
Miguel,
me
I was
when
like,
she came in.
how
She was like,
dare you?
I was in the car
I was
cursing at
heated.
y'all and shit.
I was like,
like, yo.
There's so, but you know, it's just, and that's radio stations. I need y'all to play some new school R&B, please. We want to hear it.
Usher's cool, but like,
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm down to vibe out to some more Daniel Caesar
Yes.
and Pink Sweats and shit
Like,
too.
but I have some.
I'm good on Bruno Mars. I'm sorry. I'm good on Bruno Mars.
No, Bruno Major.
Bruno
Bruno Major. You gotta
Major.
listen.
Major. There it is. Okay.
His shit, fire. But no, I have some shows coming up. So if you're in Las Vegas, Ferguson downtown on November 18th, 8:45 p.m. I go on for Love Yourself Foundation. And then on November 27th with Full Circle Music Group and with Wasteland Squad, I'll be at Backyard Bar and Billiards. It's too many B's for me.
Triple B's. We leave it short.
Triple B's. Yeah, triple B's. So I believe it starts at 8 p.m. Buy your tickets online at Instagram. I believe it's FCCMG. Yeah, it's one of those. If you put FCCM, it'll come up.
It'll come
But
up.
I'm horrible with names. But yeah, if you guys want to support me, come to my shows because you'll catch the biggest vibe at a show.
Yeah. You got to go out there and support. Tanna Marie is amazing. Again, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for coming in, giving up so much energy, making this process seem so fluid. And you know, it's wild because I feel like we're cutting this too short, which means that there's gonna be a part 2 for this interview.
I know. I feel like there's more we can talk about.
There's so much more that we can get into for you as an artist, and we just don't have the time for it right now.
Shout out to Dougie the Dom too, because I missed him when he was here, and we haven't seen each other since I first was on his track, and he's doing dope shit too. So shout out to all my homies doing dope shit.
It's so wild how that came about
because
my cousin referenced him, and I was like, bet I got him. This is 2 years ago when he was first starting music too, and then I got him on earlier today for the show, not realizing that you two had a record together and you're also coming on the show today. It's just, I'm telling you, full fucking circle is how this world works. Thank you so much again. Any Artist Music Showcase. We got one more track for you called Vibes by Miss Tanna Marie. Such a good soulful record. Catch us next time. Any Artist Music Showcase, GTV Radio. Download the app that you can tap in with us, as well as locate us on your favorite favorite podcast platforms so you can listen back to Tanna Marie whenever you want, all right? GTV Radio, voice of independent artists. We'll see y'all later.
Yow.